Welcome back to another episode of Late Entry, your favorite or soon-to-be favorite place for sports news, the wildest viral topics, and conversations guaranteed to make you laugh. Joined tonight by Baby Jokic.
What up, though?
And Drip Guy Woo. As always, I'm your host, Double Dose. Tonight we're going to get into a little NBA topics and then give you our starting five offense and defense for the flag football for the Olympics. So getting right into it, the NBA has come down to the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals, and we could not have two more different series so far. The West has been blowouts both games, and the East has been two of the tightest games that I've seen in a minute. Game one for the Pacers was crazy. You had the Halliburton double bounce to go in with the choke, which sent him to overtime. I know somewhere Kevin Durant was looking on that with that whole shot to win the game, but the toe was on the line, and so now it's overtime. Although, unlike Kevin Durant, the Pacers were able to get it done in OT. So then tonight, some really weird management by Thibodeau. They had Karl Anthony Towns sitting in the most of the fourth quarter on the bench. And then with the chance to tie the game up, the Knicks needed a three right at the end of the game. And Jalen Brunson takes one of the most inexplicably terrible three-point shots I've ever seen before. Like, that seemed like some, you've got half a second left, just heave a throw up. I don't understand why they did not have a better play design for that. That shit's mind-blowing to me. I'm thankful I'm not a diehard New York Knicks fan, because I would be I'd be furious right now. Stephen A had posted a video afterwards where he was just disgusted, just rubbing on that big old bald forehead, just sit. And I got, like always, by the Pacers, got fucked every way imaginable tonight. I had Tyrese Halliburton, who I decided after game one to put my hard-earned money on. That boy couldn't get me 15 points tonight. He gave me 14, blew my parlay. And then I had another bet where what's bro's name that was balling out? Siakam.
It's Pascal.
Man, Pascal. Every time I hear his name, I think about that tweet that's like, imagine hearing E40 say Pascal Siakam. But yeah, he was on fire until I put money on him. Needed me to 40 points, got 39. And the Pacers won, so the big old fuck me all around. But Nolan, what have you thought so far about this series?
I think that the Pacers are absolutely outplaying the Knicks, even though they needed to make that little bit of a comeback in game one. They completely dominated this past game, too. I did not see any issues with their defense, with their offense. They were guarding correctly. They were avoiding all the fouls. They were doing everything right. It's been really impressive seeing the Pacers play at this pace, pun intended, and I'm really excited to see them moving forward. I think they're going to make it to the finals. Taking 2 games in New York is not an easy task whatsoever, and we're going to see what ends up happening here. I don't think the Knicks are even going to be able to sniff a game in Indiana, but we've seen some crazier things in the NBA before. I think it's going to be a sweep. I do.
Toph, before you hop in, I will say, as to your point, the announcers were talking about the fact of the reason they think that it could still be a series. They were saying that the biggest players, I think it was Halliburton, and I forgot the other two, so I don't even want to say the names and be wrong, but 3 of their best players, Halliburton included, shoot better on the road than they do at home. And the Knicks have won a ton of road games and not home games. If you even think about it, the Pistons won their 2 games against the Knicks at home, at the Correct. Knicks home. So it does actually seem like they're primed to potentially be able to at least get 1, if not 2, at the Pacers home.
Well, I see where you're coming from,
yeah.
But at the same time, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. These teams are way better, way more prepared than both the Celtics that were injured and also the Pistons that were half injured and all first-year playoff contenders or experiences for them. So I think that the Pacers I think they're really on point right now. It looks like they're leading a really big charge of the finals.
I don't disagree with you, but like you said, they're in the Eastern Conference for a reason. The Knicks are also there too. It's not, the Pacers aren't the only ones, you know what I mean? And the Knicks have had a hard road to get there. Um, I mean, it's been close. Think about it. Like Brunson, clutch player of the year, he gets a better three look tonight. We might have overtime. You know what I mean? If Halliburton doesn't have a very lucky bounce in game one, Knicks win that game. So it's not like they're getting blown out. You know what I mean? They've been
Oh,
close games. One little thing here, one little thing there. Looks different. So I still have faith. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over personally.
well, yeah. There are two different sides of the coin. I really think Indiana's got their number. I wouldn't. This is definitely going down in four. Could go to five. But
I mean,
I want to
you
hear
would.
what Toph thinks about this series too.
I was just gonna say before handing it to him, you and I forgot have money on this series too. So I guess
Oh, yeah.
we're both rooting on that for opposite reasons. Toph, get in here.
Um, man, I just gotta say, I gotta tip my hat to the Pacers, man. Because every time I watch this team play, people kind of go around and say, can this team compete in the respective conference? Um, Indiana has pretty much built their full team, from the draft or either trades. Because even Tyrese Halliburton, he wasn't a natural born Pacer. He was a king beforehand. Pascal Siakam, when he got into this team, that was like the missing piece for this team. And people kind of thought, does this team need to make a drastic trade, or can they just stay pat with their main five, their starting five, and compete? And they've showed it, this time. Comeback, crazy comeback wins. I thought the Kawhi Leonard shot was the greatest shot I've seen. Tyrese Halliburton, that's by far the craziest shot I've ever seen. Whether to tie it or he thought he won it, for that ball to go that high up and come back down to make it, like, come on, man, that is crazy.
Yeah, give him
Um,
the choke. Give him the
I
yeah.
was
choke.
stunned. I was stunned.
Then you said Reggie, they choke. Reggie, they choke. He thought he hit the three, done deal. But they just played the game so well. They passed the ball amazingly. Their spacing is pretty much perfect. You can't ask any better. Pascal Siakam, he could shoot the ball outside. He's got a good post game. He could shoot the free throw. Um, Miles Turner, one of the best shot blockers in the league. He can also shoot that three as well too. But everyone their starting five can shoot the three. They're hella scrappy, and we all know they're not for the moment. Nimhard and Neesmith, man, they play a amazing defense. The main thing is this team does not turn the ball over. I'm looking at the box score. That's primarily, the Knicks' biggest problem. They're either following out or they turn the ball over way too much. I feel like they always work really hard for, a good shot. Where Indiana, they could just swing the ball around, over and over. If you're going to over collapse, double team, one person, Indiana will make you pay every single time. And I know, like you said, the Knicks had some, crazy good road wins, especially against the Celtics. But the way that the Pacers are rolling, they're feeling confident now. You know, all of those guys on that team got to think, they counted us all out. They called us frauds. Like I said, I know you play who you play, but anybody that they play, they show up.
Oh
Whether they're
yeah.
down 20 points, 30, like, they got the confidence that any game they play, the moment's not too big. We know we could come back. The Knicks, they did as well too, but I think, especially as you go on to the conference finals here, the Knicks, they got to be worn down, man. All these guys are playing, they basically play 6, 7 guys. This is the Tom Tibb, method. This might be why he can never get to the big game. You're just playing guys, way too much. And, if one of these guys follows out, you basically have to ask Bridges to get 20 points. He's got to play defense. Oh, geez, I got to get you 15. Cat just needs to not follow out. Don't follow out, but he's got to get you at least 25. And Brunson has to be the clutch man. When I just look at it top to bottom, I'm like, the Pacers, I think, have a pretty even matchup, but I'll give them the edge just because their big's a lot more versatile compared to the Knicks. Like Mitch Robinson, he's an OG center. He's to get you some boards. Like I said, even the Celtics did a lot of, I guess, hack him, things like that, get the free throw line.
Hack a Mitch, baby.
Yeah, hack a Mitch, like, he's kind of a liability out there, but you do need, that rest for Anthony Towns. Like, you can't put him out there. And I just think it's a big mixed match. I could see 5 or 6, but at the same time, the way they're rolling, their confidence, I think it might be a sweep, man.
Get those fucking brooms up.
What's crazy is, I mean, I've been one of the biggest people this whole time calling the Pacers frauds. Outside of an epic collapse on their part, it's looking like I'm extremely wrong. And what's crazy is, and you mentioned it, Toph, it's like with the defense. The Pacers are beating the Knicks at their own game, and that's the craziest part about it. The Pacers are playing better defense than the Knicks, and Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers have been more clutch than the clutch player of the year. So it's like the Knicks' strengths, they're getting outstrengthed by the Pacers. So it does not look good at all for them. All right, keeping it pushing. Oh, go ahead.
Wait. I do want to bring up one more point to something Toph said, and that's about the Siakam being the new piece for the Pacers. They tried so long to do that with Sabonis, just never fucking worked out. They needed that extra versatile, can move better, defend better. They just needed that piece, and they got that right, what they were looking for at the 4 position to play with Miles Turner. It's pretty phenomenal to see what both the front office, head coach, and just the team is playing overall. It's really good basketball. It really is.
Let me ask you guys, I know we didn't talk about this before the show, but just curious on you guys' opinions. After game 1, inside the NBA guys were talking about, I think it was Chuck and Draymond were talking about the Pacers should let John Halliburton come back for these home games. What do you think? Do you think that he served enough time, or do you think that they should continue to ban him for this playoffs?
Well, was that a Pacers suspension or an NBA suspension?
Pacers.
Okay. I would bring him back personally. I think it adds so much more fuel to the feud and the drama of the NBA. I think it's great for entertainment and ratings. Just don't let him go on the fucking court anymore. I think we'll be good.
Toph?
I'd say you got 2 sides to this, man. Because we've seen, fans heckling and things like that. Even though, that's Tyrese's dad, at the end of the day, he's not playing. He is a fan. He has the same rules as everybody else. So like I said, as somebody, of course you want to see your son, in the biggest moments and things like that. But if you're trying to set a precedence and not have the, Ja's dad doing his thing, Shannon Sharpe about how to fight, they got this going on. If you're trying to set the precedent, he's got to sit out. Like, it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, I'm kind of, in the middle about it. I wouldn't be too mad if he came back and things like that. Like I said, if you do bring him back, and like I said, you got to keep this consistent going forward.
I guess I'm of the mindset of like, it's tough, and I like to think that I'm a fair person, but I do recognize that everything isn't always fair. And if it was a random fan, I mean, he'd probably be banned for life. But it's not a random fan. So I'm like, I guess bring him back in, but I would let him know, like, bro, you are on indefinite probation. Like, if something like this ever happens again, if a player complains that you're heckling him at all, like, bro, you're done forever. Like, forever. So, because Chuck was saying, like, he did something incredibly stupid. He knows that he wouldn't do something like that again. So, all right. Don't do it again. And if you do it again, bro, done. Forever. No more games.
I say you just got to keep him off the court. Keep him away from the fucking players. Let him watch the game from the stands. Let the cameras be on him. Let the media narrative stir up. Like, I think it'll be great for the series and the game.
I wouldn't have an issue with him being on the court after the game if he's with his son.
No, not allowed anymore. He lost that privilege with that shit with Giannis.
So like, if they let's say that they win Game 6. Game 6 would be a Pacers home win. If you don't want to see him rush his son on the court?
No, he's not allowed. He lost that privilege. I think that's the punishment he should face.
Forever or for the season?
At least for this postseason, they can talk about it in the off season.
What if they win the chip?
Keep shit, run out there.
Keep him off.
I'm running out there.
Yeah, I'm saying if you
chip.
Yeah. Yeah, but you better be going to your son. I don't want to see you stray even close to the other team's sideline, bro. Don't even look at don't even look at a Knicks player. Head down, get straight to your son. I'm cool with it. It'd be a cool moment to see. I think that everybody knows that he did some boneheaded shit, and I think that he knows that. So
it'd be really cool to see like a Jalen Brunson head flop when he runs up to him, though.
Oh my god. All right. So we'll keep this push and go to the West. I'm sure this will be a fairly quick topic. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not. I've been. I think we talked about this last episode. Been home visiting some family, so I have not been able to really watch either of those two games. I think you guys did though. Nolan, you want to give us your Thunder Wolves takes?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards is not stepping up. Rudy Gobert's playing like ass. Julius Randle hasn't done shit. And that's kind of the whole entire series. SGA's playing good. I've seen Lou Dort hit some really good shots, play some really lockdown defense in that time. Chet Holmgren is looking fucking phenomenal for his age and his point in the league so far. I'm going to be really interested to see if Minnesota can even pull a game out of this series because they've looked like complete ass.
What do you think is more likely to be a sweep, the West or the East?
Probably the West, just based off of the first two games.
Yeah, the West.
The West. What do you think so far about it? You agree with Nolan or?
Yes and no. My guy Big Jew, he had an awful game last game. But I'm in the mindset of the whole playoff run. He's been the guy, not Ant-Man. Without Big Jew, this team would have been in trouble in a lot of series and things like that. Ant-Man, we said this in earlier podcasts, you want to be the face of the league, you got to be the one carrying the charge. You can't be having these inconsistent games. If you want to be that guy, you have to show up game after game, no questions asked. And game 2, he showed up. Big Jew, he had a stinker, man. I got to hold that one. I think he had a measly 6 points, just didn't give him nothing. I just feel like, kind of like the Pacers, like the Thunder, man, SGA is so dynamic, he's almost unstoppable. He gets to a spot, he's got a nasty mid-range. And if he's not getting them, he's making some hella tough layups. Then he's efficient at the free throw line. He's going to get you at least 40, 50 points right from the strike. He's dishing the ball. They got a lot of range, and those young guys, they're ready for the moment. They didn't show up last year in the playoffs, but with that 1 year experience, SGA playing in the Olympics, it didn't go well for him. Like I said, all that kind of experience, the more he's playing in there. He said, okay, now's my time. And before, people get, max contracts, like I said, you got to strike right now when they got a lot of good young players, on a fairly deal. So like I said, for them to win it, they got to win it now. Like I said, I think the Wolves, I don't think they have enough, man. Like when I look at it, from top down to bottom, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, it's got too much range. And basically, Rudy Gobert, he can't be out. He can't guard anybody. He can't match up with Chet, with Chet's range. It's just bad out there, man. Like I hate to see it because I love Ant, but his team it's just like a bad matchup for them, top to bottom.
Something that I think I believe I have the stat correct. Something that I think is pretty cool right now, and I know this is kind of what everyone's been pushing for, like the owners with the whole I don't want to dive too deep into that, but the whole aprons for the salary cap, the whole second apron thing. You've got the most parity, I would say, like right now. You've got 4 teams that are still in it. 3 of them have never won an NBA championship before, and the Knicks haven't won in a gazillion years. So somebody's going to, and it's looking like, if things stay consistent, that it's going to be 2 teams playing in the finals that have never won before with 2 up-and-coming star dynamic young players. So it should be interesting to see. I would like to, I'm rooting for the Wolves and the Knicks. So my guys need to start fighting back.
You got a long climb there, brother.
You're going for the underdogs in both conferences.
I know, bro. 0-2 them both. I'm sick. No, the Knicks were the higher seed in the East. It's 3 and 4.
No, I think it's 4-3, isn't it? Am I wrong? Is it
Think
4-5?
think about it, the
Oh,
Knicks
because they got
have
the home game first. You're right.
exactly. Yep. Okay, wrapping up the NBA. They did some regular season awards. It was announced Shea did win MVP. I know Homer Baby Jokic over here has an issue with that. Tell us about it.
I think it's some bullshit. I think this is the second time that Jokic has been robbed of an MVP in his career. He should probably be the fifth MVP winner in a row. We go back to Joel Embiid's 2022 MVP. I think it was 22. If he were to play by the rules of the year after, he wouldn't have even qualified for that MVP because I don't think he even played in those 62 games. I think you can only miss 20. And I just think that this year he played even better than he did last year. The only thing that got SGA to that level was the amount of points that he scored and the team record. And he had an even better team this year around him than he did in the prior years, which is why the fuck is the guy that won the scoring title just automatically gifted 50 plus bonus points for the MVP? I don't fully get it. I do think Shea is the top 5 player in the NBA right now. I don't think he's number 1. I think Jokic is still that guy that holds that team together. He's the definition of the most valuable player of the team within the whole entire league. I don't get what changes. I think it's a lot of media bias because it's all media members that are voting on this shit. And that's about all that I have for it. I just think that it's crazy that they're able to vote in this manner eventually.
I have two
Apparently.
questions for you. The first one is, I know you said that Jokic had a better season this season than he did last year when he won it. Did Shea have a better season than Jokic did, though?
I don't think so.
You mean
No.
like this year from like last year?
Well, I'm just saying, like, Nolan is saying that Jokic had a better season this year than last year. This year that right now, though, did Shea have a better year than Jokic did? Even though Jokic improved upon last year, was Shea's year this year better?
No, I don't believe so. That's what I said. I think he's top 5 in the league right now. I don't think he's up at the Jokic next level player. Like, that's not even next level. Like, Jokic is putting up generational stats. Just everything that he does around the game of basketball is completely new. It's way more advanced than anything that anybody else is doing. And I'm gonna keep the baby Jokic title. That's what I'm gonna leave it at.
Something that bothers me, you kind of touched on this too about who had the better team, but something that bothers me, especially in like the NFL, is like when you're talking about most valuable player, you would think that the way I would look at that would be if I'm trying to judge between two players, if each of them were to miss time, which team would be worse off? So like if Jokic was to be hurt for several weeks, if Shea was to be hurt for several weeks, which team would win more games? The other thing I like to think about is like if you were to switch them, if you put Jokic on the Thunder, if you put Shea on the Nuggets, like which team would, you know what I mean? And I get frustrated with that with the NFL all the time of like people win an MVP and I'm like, yo, there's someone out here maybe has a little bit worse record, but that's because they're literally carrying the team on their back.
Yeah, I totally feel that. And to your first point about missing games, even just them going to the bench during the game, Jokic has the plus minus difference completely controlled over Shea. When Shea goes to the bench, their team is still in the positive. When Jokic goes to the bench, their team goes to the fucking floor.
That is a fantastic point.
It's completely wild how the NBA media just eats up, oh, we need a new person to get it. We can't let this guy get 5 MVPs, 4 MVPs. I feel like that's what's holding the NBA media back, and I'm going to digress and let you guys talk about the rest of it because that's everything off of my chest. I think Jokic deserved it.
That's a really good point that you said too, and you even saw that when the two teams played each other, like when the stars were resting, like and the benches were playing each other. And yeah, Jokic literally was the entire Nuggets team. Toph, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I feel like the whole MVP trophy from not even just NBA, like you said, NFL as well too. It just very media driven, And there's so many guys in every team that's, quote unquote, MVP. Like you could take, a lot of players off the team. LeBron was the infamous one. Cleveland had what, three? I think they had two first round picks in a row. Like, like when you want to say, like, take the most valuable person off that team, how does their season look? You know, Definitely LeBron. He showed, like, that dude, not even
He was
question,
robbed so many
MVP.
times.
Yes. And kind of like
Steve
what
Nash
Nolan
years,
said,
baby.
they don't want to see like somebody win it, Yeah, definitely the Steve Nash year. Sorry about that one, Shaq. They don't want to see somebody win so many times. It gets old. It gets repetitive. And if it was me, I would have switched it this year and last year. I would have gave it to Shea last year, Jokic this year. Because at this point, Jokic is having, so many good seasons back to back to back. He's outplaying himself. And I think the big thing that came down to was just team record. You know, um, since the Nuggets had, a step back from like the previous years, it kind of made sense. The Thunder had this, amazing year. Yeah, Shea did get, the scoring record, but he also had the team success as well too. And of course, media's always going to tie that into it. Should they do that? I'm not the fan of it, but I do get it. You're not going to have somebody in a playing game, you know, unless that man's averaging 50 points. Hell, give that man MVP. We'll never see that, but of course they're going to put playoff success, team record into it. So it's kind of a no-brainer that you give it to Shea. Like I said, I think both of them played a hell of a season. But I do think a big of it comes down to just somebody winning it so many times now. Is that right? Definitely not. But
the one thing that I will say is, if my memory serves correctly, that time that Jokic lost to Embiid, that Embiid MVP was like the most like, nigga, here, damn, MVP of all time. Embiid was crying about it the year before.
Shut the
like,
fuck up.
Like, I don't know what else I can do to win it. They must hate me. And it's like, I mean, Jokic has been balling, dog. Jokic has been the best player in the league for a grip now. So
yeah, that year I think they could have did the same thing. Maybe Jokic should, or not Jokic, and B should have got the year beforehand, and then Jokic gets that one. So I think the media does mess up who wins it that year, and they said, "Oh shit, we fucked up there. Now we got to go back and right our own wrongs in it." Unfortunately, we leave it to media hand people that you hear the same complaint all the time. Guys that never laced up the shoes and got in the hardwood out there making decisions for people that put the time in and things like that. People get tight about that, but it's like I said, it's a frustrating, conversation on who truly is the MVP. I don't think we're ever going to get like a true person. And there's so many damn good players now. Like it is hard to pick, who the MVP truly is.
And that's a whole reason why I think that the NBA needs to set strict guidelines on what the MVP means. Like, what the fuck are we contributing this to?
The ambiguity of it is where the whole thing lives, though. It's not just the NBA; it's the NFL too.
Everything.
And why the fuck is the media? Why is the media voting on this shit? Shouldn't there be like dedicated people that know the game and
that's the media,
all the aspects of it? Like there needs to be criteria for these.
But, I mean, you got like a mix of like ex NBA players and like like the most popular like journalists. Like I said, it's a combination.
But that's the people that you're describing is the people that's doing it. I just think that you're maybe unhappy with the result of it. Because you wouldn't want to make it like the fans, because it's just a popularity contest.
Well, no, definitely not. I don't think it should come down to a fan vote, but it's like you're picking people that don't watch Jokic play. You're watching people that watch the games on ESPN, and it's like, why the fuck are we doing this?
I mean, there's a lot of unbiased people on there. Like Stephen A. Smith is only one person. There's a lot of unbiased other media members that do vote on the stuff too. But any group of people that you select is going to be biased. Even if it was all NBA players, like even if you took just Hall of Famers that were like still young enough to like be fucking coherent, they're still gonna have their biases over certain players. You think Charles Barkley and like Shaq don't have biases over certain players? Like
that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like any group of people you get is going to have a bias. It's just we got to rely on somebody to do it, and sometimes we're going to be unhappy with who they pick.
Or they should make it a requirement like, you need to be retired from the NBA within the last 10, 15 years, and you have to watch at least I don't know, 500 basketball games a year, 3 from each team or something crazy like that.
But
I don't know what the criteria
how
should
do you
be.
regulate what that is though? You know what I mean? Like how do you
You
prove
got
that
to
they
make a
watch those?
committee. I think that the award should be more official because it means so much in the scope of like the history of
Contracts
the
and
league,
everything.
Do you
Yeah.
know that
contracts, money. It's insane how it just comes down to, oh, I feel like this now.
Do you know that the I forgot which organization it is, it's like the Emmys or Oscars, whatever one is for the movies, right? There's people like the voters for that. There's people on record talking about that they'll literally just turn the movie on so that the software picks up that it's running, and they'll go do other shit in their house just to satisfy the fact that the movie was played. You're dealing with it in every aspect of people. Anytime that people come down to voting for something, it's always going to be subjective. And you
Yeah.
can't prove that anyone did a better job than anything else. At least the media currently, they are covering the sport. You know what I mean? Like Stephen A. Smith is at these games covering them. You know what I mean? He's either there in attendance as a fan, or he's covering on ESPN. He's sitting there at the desk, covering it. He's there in person watching these games. So I'm not saying that they don't fuck up. I'm just saying I don't see how much better of a system they could make it.
I feel like there's a way, there's a will. I mean, the people want it. The fucking
Yeah.
Well, it's like Nolan said. There's no like formula for what criteria entails for the MVP in any sport.
But that's what makes it. I mean, think about it. That's what makes anything like exciting, though, is the fact that we got to see what everyone's rationale is. That was the big thing too when there was only 4 teams for the for college football, right? There was always going to be one gigantic snub, and almost sometimes just as exciting as the actual playoffs themselves was the weeks leading up to it, seeing who was going to be left out. And those big controversial moments, Washington getting left out not Washington. I can't fucking. Toph, who was
Alabama?
it? No, 2 years ago.
2 years.
The quarterback got hurt right before the playoffs.
Oh, Florida State.
Florida State.
yeah, FSU.
Yep. Yes. So
Jordan Travis, I think
yes,
his name was.
but see, a situation like that, you know what I mean, and all the controversy surrounding it, it only adds to the sport. Yeah, somebody got fucked out of their legacy, but the sport is exciting because everyone's talking about it. Now at the water cooler, people are gonna be talking about, what do you think? Should it have been Shea? Should it have been Jokic? We've got a topic right now for us to talk about on our podcast. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
Because we talk about like MVPs or even like a Heisman. That's like the MVP of that one.
Yeah.
Heisman. What position normally wins that one?
Quarterback.
NFL. Who normally wins that one?
Quarterback.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, we had Jamar Chase, Triple Crown. We've had a couple of running backs.
Saquon last year.
2000. Yeah, Saquon last year was like, I don't remember who won it. Oh yeah, Josh Allen. He did have a hell of a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you have some of that does something that's just like, we don't see that all the time. We might never see a Saquon Barkley, year in a long time. Now, do you feel like he should have won that over, Josh Allen's MVP year?
But they have like other stuff though. You know what I mean? Like, so like Josh Allen won MVP, Saquon won Offensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Jokic didn't get MVP this year. He's first team All NBA. Like, there's other awards too. You know what I mean? It's not like it was just like we all forgot about a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're never going to see a linebacker win an MVP.
They could win Defensive Player of the Year though.
I mean, that's a difference than MVP.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
if everyone knows that the MVP is a quarterback award, if you show up to the Hall of Fame and you're fucking a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, that shit's going to go just as far for you on defense.
I would disagree.
Yeah. I just don't think it should always be quarterback every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I
get it. If you earn it, you earn it.
The reason that the quarterback gets it is because the ball is in their hand every offensive snap.
That's also true.
You know what I mean? Like, if you took the quarterback off, you could have a Super Bowl winning team. If you take the quarterback out of it, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fucking crash and burn. Like, you need that quarter. You know what I mean?
Well, the Eagles have gotten to the Super Bowl without Saquon, though.
They have. They didn't win it.
I'm talking about, like, this year. Who played a massive part into their success.
Oh, I'm not downplaying it at all.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have got there without Jalen Hurts either. I would have really liked to see.
I was just sitting there thinking. Go ahead, keep going.
I would have really liked. That's crazy. Don't disrespect. Y'all gonna sit here and disrespect Jalen Hurts like that.
I like Jalen Hurts, But I mean,
yes. I mean,
Did the Eagles
Saquon.
need him to win? Maybe
No, that's
because
crazy.
you guys were on me last week about my Matt Stafford take. Like I said, Saquon had 2 clutch touchdowns in that game. Without Saquon, the Rams might have made that comeback.
Yeah, I'm not. Saquon was. I would not have been upset had Saquon won MVP this season. I really wanted him to play the final game of the season and get that record, and then he would have had an even stronger case for MVP. I don't think if Saquon wins the MVP, I don't think anyone's upset about it other than the Bills.
Oh, no.
I don't think Saquon was even in MVP talks.
No,
yes, he was. Yes, he was.
No, he was, but everybody thought it was going to be Lamar. We did not expect Josh Allen to win it.
It was those
top
3.
5 were all quarterbacks.
No, Saquon was in it the whole season.
Yeah.
People were just saying it's hard for a running back to win MVP. He would have probably had to have broken the record in order to do it.
Yeah.
All this football talk, switching, it's a nice natural segue. The owners had the owners meeting over the last week, and one of the things that they there's a few. The tush push is upheld. The Lions pulled their proposal for the reseeding of the playoffs, and the owners voted to allow the players to compete in the, is it 26 or 28?
28 Summer Olympics in LA.
Yep. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Man, like I said, exciting. This is the first time, in history that, our sport, or somewhat of our sport, gets to be represented,
part of our sport
on, a national stage, which is perfect. This is in LA. The sun's going to be shining, and we're going to play a little bit of football in the Olympics here. Sadly, it's only flag football. We're not going to play our normal 11-11 with the pads on, but we get some kind of football. So we give you guys a quick rundown how it's going to work. Then we're going to kind of, say our own kind of dream team for that. So for all the fans out there, how it's going to work, it's going to be a 70-yard field, 50 yards. So if you include like the 2 end zones, it's going to be 70. 25 yards in width. Players can have a total of 10 people on the team. 5 players on each team in the field at the same time. Games will be played in 2 20-minute halves. Teams starting their own 5-yard line have 4 downs to reach midfield. Once you reach midfield, you get your first down. So you basically get, 8 downs in total. No kicking allowed. And after you score a touchdown, you can either go for an extra point for 1 on the 5-yard line or 2 points from the 10-yard line. So after kind of being that, you guys kind of get the feel for it. Typically for the positions, you're going to have a quarterback, a center, who can also go out and catch the ball as well too, or either like 3 receivers or / running back as well too. On defense, you could get 2 DBs, 2 safeties, and a pass rusher will be lined up 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, and they could rush the passer, as soon as you snap the ball. So we'll let Nolan go ahead and run down your team here, man.
Well, hold on. Let's do it by position. So. Okay. Quarterback.
So you want to go each person go?
Yeah.
By position?
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So give us your quarterback first.
All right. Sorry. With my quarterback, I am going with Kyler Murray. Why Kyler Murray? I think he is probably the fastest, shiftiest quarterback in the NFL right now. I think he can throw a dot. I think he can get rid of the ball whenever the fuck he wants. That's the guy that I'm going to trust throwing the ball in flag football. Spencer, who do you have at quarterback?
I have the actual fastest, shiftiest quarterback in the league, Lamar Jackson. the human joystick, for the exact same reason. He's going to be able to throw it, and when it's time to get busy and get you running, no one's stopping Lamar. Toph?
Damn, I got to say, Kyler Murray, that's a good pick, because you got to say, he's a short person, and he can run. And we're talking about flag football. You got to grab a flag. It's not 2-hand touch.
He got those hips, baby. He can turn those motherfuckers.
Dang, that's a good pick. I didn't think about that.
He's short. He's lower to the ground. And he doesn't have to throw over linemen.
Yep. That's a good pick. That's a sleeper one. I like that one. Mine was also Lamar Jackson. I did think about Jaden Daniels. But at the end of the day, if we're in LA, we want to put the stars out there. Who's more excited than Lamar Jackson? Like I said, if you're going... Whatever poor Russian gonna start rushing that man.
Done.
Right off the bat, yeah, he's in trouble with the ball.
We're going to show America what Lamar Jackson got cooking, dog.
Yeah, I feel bad for who's got to arrest that man for 20 minutes straight. Yeah, he going to be done for, man.
My dumbass said show America. I meant show the world. We're going to show the world. We're going to show
America too. We're going to show America too.
America already knows about the two-time MVP.
Yeah, they're going to get a heavy dose.
Oh, my God.
Europe's going to learn.
Nolan, give us your center.
So I kind of went a little crazy with the center. I got to make sure I got this one right. Okay. Oh, yeah. So my center is going to be Alvin Kamara.
That's not bad.
I think he can snap the ball. He can run the ball. He can do whatever the fuck you need to do on the field. And he's got probably the most receptions in the past 5 years for a running back. I never checked that stat, but I'm pretty sure it's true. And that's the dude I would trust out in the field with the ball, just getting it to the quarterback. That's my center, Alvin Kamara.
I was thinking that's a really good one. I was thinking a big body, goal line threat, fourth down threat, short yardage. I'm taking Brock Bowers.
Damn.
I also took Brock Bowers.
Let's go. Hey, Toph and I are building the same team.
Yeah, as someone that does play flag football, having a big body down there in the goal line is imperative. As soon as you snap the ball, you could just flip it to him really quick, easy touchdown. Also, I don't know how many, other nationalities have dealt with somebody like Brock Bowers, who, even on Sundays, he's a handful. Pause. But yeah, Brock Bowers, man, he's smooth, man. That's my pick.
If it was a few years back, I would have grabbed Travis Kelce without a second thought. But
yeah, if I had to pick another one, George Kittle was my pick.
That's good.
Like I said, I think I tied in for the center. If I had to build my dream team, that's gonna be my pick.
All right.
Nolan, give us. You got 3 receivers.
I do, and I probably took the top 3 wide receivers in the league. I'm sure you guys probably have at least 2 of these on your list. I got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, so I've got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I was really torn up over 3 for my final 3. One was St. Brown, shifty, good hands, a little bit more, in and out the middle, whereas we're going to have the deeper threats with the other 2. The other was Devontae Adams, elite route running, but a little bit over the hump. I wound up with my third. I took Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, shout out my boy Malik, man.
Yep. Toph?
I would have went different here. I did not go 3 wide receivers.
Wow.
So this might be a little. I'm gonna save my spicy one for last. Jettis, St. Brown, and I got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
Shifty runner.
You could run the ball. Probably, I think he might be the most dynamic running back in the league. He could catch it. He can move. And I would not want to try to grab that man's flag out there in the open field. I went for more of a quick and diverse team. Anybody that's a true football head knows about 7-on-7 in high school. St. Brown is actually one of the most decorated. It's like recruits coming out. I don't know how this man gets open every Sunday, but he could work the middle of that field, and they're gonna run a lot of drags and crossers. That's St. Brown's game, and he's gritty, man. He's tough. If I gotta get him on defense as well too, he gonna do it probably. That's my pick, man.
That St. Brown one, like I said, I thought about that for a while. I had considered for a second Tyreek Hill, but I thought that the field might be too small for him. I thought the field might be too small for him. You got 50.
I don't know. He's pretty fucking fast, Spence.
No. I know, but he might be too fast for the field. The field is too small. You're not running the full 100 yards. You know what I mean?
It's 50 yards.
You got 50 yards to work
25
with.
25 wide.
Right. And so he's going to fucking be gone by the time, you know what I mean? That was my only thought with him. I was looking for more someone who, a little shiftier.
Yeah, Toph, I was really torn in between Gibbs and Kamara when I was choosing my center too. So I totally feel you on the running back part.
Yeah, I was stuck between either Bijan or Jameer Gibbs. But I know one of the running back just because you could run the ball. And I think those two guys, I mean, we've seen Bijan Robinson clips. I mean, that man is shifty as well, too. But you got to be able to move in the agile. Like I said, Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's one guy that can actually get out of his breaks really quick. But when you got to move your hips and things like that, I kind of want the running back. Like I said, Alvin Kamara, I feel like he's more of a physical guy. I don't think of him as juking left and right.
He's just one of the biggest pass catching running backs.
That's why he's my center.
He can catch, but like those guys, I've seen Gibbs just make everybody miss. Bijan, so I don't think it's a bad pick, but for my team, I think flag football is a bit more agile.
Makes sense.
So I kind of wanted to change it up just a little bit.
Nolan, your pass rusher.
So I kind of went a different route on the defense.
Okay.
I think that we need to go the fastest, best hands, because you're looking to grab flags on defense. You're not looking to tackle anybody. So I went with 5 different defensive backs. I'll start with number 1. I did go with Brian Branch. I think he's going to be really good back there. I've also got Kyle Hamilton. And I'll give you my third one, Jabril Peppers. I think he's very, very versatile. I think he's going to be able to either be a pass rusher or be able to cover.
That's good. That's a good one.
I like Peppers. He's an OG athlete. He used to play both sides, a little bit of running back in the Wildcat. I like Peppers.
Did you give us 3? You got 2 more,
Yeah, I just
right?
gave you 3. Do you want me to give you the other 2?
Might as well.
All right. For my other 2, I had Xavier Woods and Buda Baker.
I thought about Buda.
That one is. I did think about Buda. That was way out of left field, but I like it. It's different.
Yeah, I'm going with the small ball, grabbing flags, covering people. Honestly, I was just thinking of the people that I think can grab the flag the best.
I've got, as my pass rusher, I've got linebacker for the Jags. Forgive me if I say your name wrong. Forsaid Oludkin.
Okay.
That boy is a dog. He's good in coverage, and he's a good run stopper. And I think that he'd be a nice hybrid of like being able to drop back into coverage for it, but also chase the quarterback. So I've got him in my pass rusher.
For my Madden heads, you know that boy's a beast on Madden.
Yep. If you have a defensive player in fantasy football, you know him too. That boy is a stud.
He's staying on his feet.
Yep. I thought about Buda Baker a lot, but I didn't wind up taking him. I got 4 D-backs. I got Jair Alexander, Pat Surtain, Cooper DeJean, Sauce Gardner. My goal is not to grab flags. My goal is to complete 0 passes. I'm trying to lock everybody down. Toph?
I got a spicy pick in here. And I'm surprised nobody else said this guy's name. I'm going to save him for last. I got 2 safeties in my team, but either of them can switch out between rushing or playing, some zone. So I got Mr. Kyle Hamilton, who's an excellent blitzer. He ain't known for catching the ball. He's a physical guy, but he can play in the box. When you talk about flag football in space, I think he has ability to, if he's got to go back, if he's got to play in the middle. He got that versatility. So I got Kyle Hamilton, and I'm going to steal one from Nolan. I got a lot of Lions on this team, Brian Branch, who I think arguably could be the best safety in the league. This guy's dynamic, plays the nickel. If he's got a rush as well, too, he can easily do it. He can switch on and off. PS2. He's a dog, man.
Who?
Lock him up. Patrick Surtain.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay.
PS2.
Yep.
My bad. I know if y'all knew his nickname.
My bad.
PS2. Then another guy who I think is very, very slept on. Sting like Lee. Derek Stingley, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good one.
He is a true athlete and probably could play offense as well, too, if you need it. But last but not least, he's not playing a single down in the league, but he's a two-way monster.
Yo.
Mr. Hunter. Come on.
I thought about him.
Travis Hunter, man. He's dynamic. Might have the best ball skills I've ever seen. He could jump over anybody. He ain't going to get tired. He likes the bright lights, man. If we want to put our best people and put on the show, he's box office, man. So Travis Hunter is my last pick for my dream team.
I considered him heavily. All I'm thinking is if we can have Cooper DeJean get a pick off Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he's gonna scare the shit out of some Russian kid in the fucking Olympics, dog. They ain't ready to see him.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. I feel like once we come around again to another cycle of this, I feel like then Travis Hunter will be on my list. I feel like I've really debated him, but I was like, let's get some of the established guys now. We'll hit Trav on the next cycle.
Yeah, and like I said, this is something brand new. There's been a couple of players that have expressed, that they want to play. Nobody bigger than Justin Jefferson. He says this was his dream, to play for his country. And like I said, we don't know who's all going to opt in. Once again, you can only you know what? I just thought of something, guys.
What's up?
We got to make some changes. There's only one person per team. So all these Lions we have to take them off. So I got 2 Lions. So I'm actually going to keep St. Brown.
Oh, it's only one per team?
Yeah, 1 per team. I forgot about that. So like 1 Lion, 1 Bear, etc. Gibbs will be replaced with my boy from the ATL, Mr. Bijan. Then Brian Branch, I'll play some with Buda Baker. Because I did think Buda. I like Baker. So those are my quick switches right there.
Okay.
And everything else works well. Nobody else is on the same team. No, Kyle Hamilton's got to be gone. Let me get Micah then.
Okay.
Sorry, chat.
All right, that means I got to get rid of Amon Ra because I'm going to keep Brian Branch. I trust him back there on the defense. Holy shit, I got to go with another receiver.
There's a lot to choose from.
There's so many to choose from. I'm going to go with... You know what? Give me Travis Hunter since he can play both sides of the ball.
Okay.
That's the easy pick.
Hell yeah. Well,
was your team good?
Me?
Yeah, you didn't have any of the same team.
No, we got diversity over here.
Okay, all right.
No. All right. Well, we'll see when the official list comes out. See if we get anybody right on there.
That'll be pretty interesting to see who ends up making the team at the end of the day. They got a roster of 12, right?
Yeah, max of 12. So I mean, if someone goes down, you got to have some kind of replacement. So like I said,
that's like 2 subs like outside that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably one.
How many people are allowed to be elected to the team? Just 12?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 is the total team size. But only 10 are going to be playing, at a time, 5 for each side.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Nolan, you have a funny post for us?
I do have a couple funny posts. I came across the first one 2 days ago after Tyrese Halliburton hit that first 3, or what he thought was a 3. It ended up being a 2. It was the Halliban is in New York, and I thought that the Halliban was the best nickname for Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh my god! After destroying New York.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was absolutely brutal. And then the second funny post that I have is from Chuck Bass on Twitter. He says it's a quote tweet of Caitlin Clark looking back at somebody saying, "I'm not scared of you," making this funny face. And the quote tweet is me looking at the 90-pound Vietnamese lady at the blackjack table where that nobody's at 9 o'clock on a Friday night.
Oh man.
I'm not scared of you.
Not scared of you. I saw somebody say that she looks like Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Yep, I saw that one too. That sarcastic ass looking face.
Toph, what you got for us?
At Sky to OKC. 3 MVPs love years for OKC. My boy Hoodie Brunson and 0 rings.
Ooh. that's a
It's
lot of
also
shit
kind of
talking.
crazy. You also had James Harden. They've been out 4 years, but that team did have 4 MVPs, but no rings.
Yeah.
At least not yet. We got a chance.
Well, Harden wasn't
Second-
an MVP when he was on the team, at least.
No, but I mean, he was at Thunder and did get an MVP, so still crazy to think about.
Hey, Shea might break the curse this season.
They do got their chance. They might finally get that one ring. You got all them players, superstars, MVPs. You got to get something.
Fuck yeah, they
As
do.
Denzel says, I'm leaving with something. All right, second one. Have we ever seen Matt Stafford and Elon Musk in the same room?
That's brutal.
Now, I didn't realize that they ever looked that much the same.
I don't think they look that similar.
A little bit. I think like the eyes.
I feel like if you told me that they were like cousins, I could see it though.
You know, now I want to see Elon Musk throw a fucking football.
It's gonna look horrendous. It's gonna be real ugly.
Yeah, I don't know if you got it like that. Last one. My boy Killmonger. Is this your quarterback? Is this your quarterback? Let me full screen this so everybody can get to see.
Is that Cam Newton?
Mr. Cameron Newton himself.
He got that shit on.
You look like he's just getting out of jail.
Oh, we about to get canceled. We getting back up. We getting back up today.
Oh my gosh!
You could have said got them to shift that Foot Locker or something, but we went straight to jail.
I mean, they got them stripes. You said a shift to Foot Locker. He looks like he's pulling up to a motherfucking Jonathan Majors cosplay.
Okay, we not about to disrespect my boy Jonathan Majors like that. He pulling up to the Met Gala like that.
Oh my god.
That's his outfit for the Met Gala? Come on.
Hey, he got that shit on. Hey, fashion today? Hey man, you wear whatever you want now.
All right. I've got two. The first one, there's a video attached. The video is not important. The tweet itself is what's funny. It's at remnicor_ on Twitter. Han Solo after calling Luke kid for 3 films and then proceeds to bang his twin sister.
Ooh.
Damn.
Kid. And then the other one that I've got is some little audio for everybody to listen to. This is Kevin Harlan calling the game tonight.
Oh, shit. Fresh.
I'm wet. I'm dirty.
Oh God.
Things I've never heard before in a motherfucking NBA commentator say before.
Kevin Harlan, say goodbye.
No pause or nothing, dog. I'm wet. I'm dirty.
Dude, I feel like he's always got some crazy shit.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
God.
Was he the one that said I'd knock her out of the park?
Damn.
No, that was Mark Jackson talking about Savannah James.
Yeah.
All due respect.
Nobody's worse than the Hornets guy.
That dude's always screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have one more. I forgot about this. This is, I would say, a first ballot Hall of Fame tweet. This is an instant classic on Twitter. This came out after the Shannon Sharpe had on Club Shay Shay Portnoy, and a lot of people, especially in the black community, weren't too thrilled about that appearance. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but people were talking about how Shannon Sharpe will literally have anybody on Club Shay Shay, no matter what. And so, at Happy to Be Bald tweeted, Adolf Hitler, we must eradicate them all. Shannon Sharpe. Now, Hit, you gonna get me in trouble now. All this Jew talk. Come on, Hit. And what's crazy is you can hear it. You can hear that tweet, dog.
It was a laugh
Holy
for me.
shit.
Come on now, hit.
That was a spot on impression right there. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the late entry.
Oh, man.
Please leave us a comment. Please like, subscribe. Let us know if you think that either the East or the West. Come on now, hit.
I'm good.
Okay. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment. Let us know if you think that it's going to be brooms out for the conference finals. Let us know who would be on your. Let us know who would be on your all-star flag football team. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Oh my God! Oh yeah, we are officially on Facebook now. So if you go on Facebook, Late Entry Podcast, you'll find us. Leave us a follow.
Oh boy!
Oh my God! All right, thanks everybody. We're out. Peace.